Oh, hi. Hey, how are you? I'm so glad you joined me today. You know, I have my tambourine here. It's not really a drum, but I'm drumming on my tambourine. So, who of you plays the drums? I know that some of you have drums and like to play drums, and some of you are very, very good at it. And so you know that drums are used to set a beat to the music or to a march. Right. So we like to drum around sometimes. Hey, did you ever hear the phrase someone that marches to the beat of a different drum or a drummer? Um, like you could say that Milt is an unusual guy. He really marches to the beat of a different drummer. And some do say that, right? Right. So, what does marching to the beat of a different drummer or a different drum mean? Well, the phrase means to do something, to act, or to behave in a manner that does not always conform to the standard, to the prevalent, or to the popular societal norm. Now, that's right out of the dictionary. So basically, it's saying to march to the beat of a different drummer means to act independently and to behave differently sometimes than what is expected. So, someone who marches to the beat of a different drummer or marches to his own beat is a person who's not always constrained by social norms or rules. Here's a phrase we could say this about our friend Sue. I don't know if you can keep up with Sue, for she would rather rappel down a mountain than go out to a movie. Sue marches to the beat of her own drummer. Well, I think many of you march to the beat of your own drummer, and that's okay. The phrase itself comes from the writings of the American philosopher whose name was Henry David Thoreau. And he wrote this: if a man loses pace with his companions, perhaps it is because he hears a different drummer. Let him step to the music which he hears, however measured or far away. That's where the phrase began. Henry David Thoreau telling people that if somebody is out of step, maybe it's because he's hearing a different drummer. Now, some people say phrases march to a different beat, or march to a different drummer, or march to a different tune, and it all means the same thing. It's speaking of a person who does not always do what everyone else does, a very unique person, a person who marches to the beat of a different drummer. Now, did you know that you are a unique person? That's right. I think most of you know that you are very unique. God made you who you are, and it may be different than other people, and that's okay. We have different gifts, we have different talents, we have different likes and dislikes, we have different looks, we have different actions, we have different hair or hats. All these things are make us unique, and God made us that way. Psalm 139 is a familiar passage to many of us. And in there's a couple of verses that say this: You, God, created the deepest parts of my being. You put me together inside my mother's body. How you made me is amazing and wonderful. I praise you for that. What you have done is wonderful, and I know that very well. Now, I know that we do celebrate our differences, even if our differences are ways that we exhibit that we're marching to our own drummer because we're unique people. However, I want to encourage you that we always want to be sure that we are marching in step with God, that we are following Him. Even as we may be different from each other, yet we have the same God, and we want to follow Him. From the same passage, Psalm 139, there's a couple more verses that tell us this: God, see what is in my heart. Know what is there. Test me. Know what I am thinking. See if there's anything in my life that you don't like, and help me to live in the way that is always right. You can be your own person. I just want you to make sure you're being the type of person that God wants you to be. So as we march to the beat of a different drummer, we may not be in step with everyone else around us. We may be doing somewhat of our own thing, maybe living in a different way than somebody else. But let's make sure that we're honoring God and glorifying Him in whatever we do. Marching to the beat of your own drum is okay, but marching to God's drum beat is very, very important. So I wish you a day filled with marches. March to the beat of your own drum. Just glorify God today. Have a day filled with joy and a day filled with peace.